Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday morning. Is that an oxymoron? Happy Monday. Good to see you. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. Well, this is the start of a full week for me. So, let's get it off the right way. The right way, which always is drinking it. If you got it. Got my magical bastard coffee cup here this morning to put a smile on my face. Join me. Oh, yeah. Do a little mustache grooming. Always a good way to start the day. Well, how are you, my friends? Good to see you. Good to see you. I guess it's Easter Monday, but I don't think that it's considered a federal holiday, so business as usual today. Banks, mail, everything. And me. And me. Lori says, you are indeed magical. Yeah, just getting out of bed in the morning is a magical thing. You know, I say, wow, made it through another day. Let's do it again. We hope to keep doing that for many years to come. Hope you all had a nice weekend. Celebrated with your families and ate some good carnivore food. We had a nice Saturday Night Live last night, and Barry Simon, Barry sent me an appropriate meme, and I'm going to show you that right now. So let me switch to it. And he was showing the panel, but he added his magical touch to it.
Welcome to the Carnivore Bunch. The meat life is the best life. We stick together, no grains, no problems. Exactly. Meat powers the brain and the body. Let's eat.
Thank you, Barry. That's funny. That's funny. We'll probably be seeing more of that in the future. The memes keep coming. The memes keep coming. And I enjoy them. I hope you do too. I figured out a nice way to show them to you without pushing 12,000 different buttons on my screen. So hopefully I'll be doing a little more of that. So keep them coming, Barry. Keep them coming. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, Peter says, I have an important announcement. I already let it out of the bag, but most of you already have heard it one place or another. I decided that it's probably time for me to get back to work. So I'm going to start doing my morning show 5 days a week right after Kilts. One of two things is going to happen. You're going to love it, or you're going to get tired of me and go away, or a combination of both. But as long as I'm able, I certainly enjoy this. It's usually the highlight of my day when I do my morning coffee live stream. I'm up anyway. It's not like I have to crawl out of bed and force myself to wake up. That happens all by itself, usually about 4:30 to 5 o'clock. I watched the entirety of Kilts' show this morning, and wasn't that a charming guest he had this morning? She was so sweet, and had a great story. Too. And I think her story would motivate a lot of people. Well, here we are. Here we are. I'm going to actually make a video, whether I get it out today or tomorrow, but I'm going to start back in, I think, with a few long form videos. I've taken about a month off from that. I lost 200 or 300 subscribers during that period due to the normal attrition of YouTube just removing people. I can't believe that many people unsubscribed to me because I don't think I was particularly obnoxious. I've just learned that when you get to this level of having 50,000 subscribers, every day, if you do nothing, 10 to 20 of them just disappear. And I think that many YouTubers find the same thing. If you make long form videos, you generally will gain more subscribers than you do lose, and you slowly creep back upward. So I'm going to make a long form video, and the topic is going to be the gripe that I can't do carnivore because it's too boring and I need more variety. And I'm going to get into that and go down a rabbit hole and talk about why carnivores, for some magical reason, don't seem to miss variety and become perfectly happy eating just eggs and beef and bacon and don't miss all that other stuff. It is not a miracle. There is a scientific and explainable reason why that happens. And I think many of us carnivores know why that happens, but people who you talk to and I talk to, and that's the first objection they have. You only eat what? I'm not going to live that way. That takes all the fun out of life. So I'm going to make a video about that, and I hope that video gets out there to many new carnivores and people thinking about carnivore. God knows whether YouTube will propagate it out there to the great unwashed, but it happens sometimes. So I'm going to try to make a clever thumbnail, make it a little catchy, so people will click on it. And hopefully it might be a very important message that everybody needs to hear. I've talked about that in the past, but look for that video. I'm going to start working harder again. I'm feeling pretty good and glad to be here. Well, let me get started welcoming all my friends before this chat gets too far out of hand. First one, Lori Weitzel was in last night. Hi, Lori, at 10:45. Just Jerry chimed in. Morning, Mitchter. That's me. Lady June. Hiya, Lady June. How are you? And, of course, Mike Silly from Melbourne in this morning early, followed by Humaira. How you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Good to see you. Rough Carnivore, Mitch time. Good morning to all. Rough Carnivore's in Guam. So it's evening over there already. Mike Seeley. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you this morning. And Lori chimed back in this morning. And here we have Loretta from Havre de Grace, Maryland. Hi, Loretta. How are you? How are you? Lori's ready for her Mitch fix. Barry Simon, thanks for that meme. I love that one. I love that one with the panel. That must have been quite a prompt to make that happen. Wow, I love it. I love it. Good morning, Mitch. And all from a balmy 40 degrees, Massachusetts. Yes, it is. It is. I think winter's over finally down here. It was about 70 degrees this morning when I went outside to watch Kelsey. Tammy Pitarch, good morning. Yo, Mitch Fitz. How are you, Tammy? Good to see you this morning. And Steve Rogers, superhero from Kansas City, Captain America, here to protect us from the villains. Larry Ryan, good morning, Mitch and all the Mitch Fitz, he says. And Rick is here this morning, and we're not at 7 o'clock yet. Bride's Biscuit, how are you? How are you? And, oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this. Peter, the winner this morning. Exactly 7 o'clock, followed on his heels by Lizzie. And Rick chimed in at 7. Don Schonger, Lori dancing away. Okay, I feel like I call a horse race when I do this. Aaron, good morning, Aaron. Good to see you. And my friend Chris Hope, who had a live stream yesterday from high over Texas from his drone. And the drone guys do that. The drone guys had these live streams on the weekends where they put up a drone and have a little chat with the viewers while they're flying around. And I enjoyed that and chimed in and said hello to all my old friends on Chris's channel. So I enjoyed it, Chris. I might do it more often. Thanks. And yes, Peter, I made a big announcement, if that's the one you were talking about 5 days a week doing the morning coffee live stream right after Kelsey. CB, good morning. Yo, he says. Good to see you. And we have Brian Airy, good morning, everyone. Corey Glover, no, Corgi Lover. I don't know where the space belongs. I'll take a stab at it. Corgi Lover. Is a corgi like a dog or something? I never heard of it. But good morning to you. Good morning to you and Chuck from Clearwater. Super Tune, I hear the music. Good morning, Chuck. How you doing? How you doing, my friend? And Kathy B. here. That one I can pretty well parse out. Good morning to you, Kathy. Well, we're glad you are here. Who's next? Sandy Blythe? Good morning, Professor Mitch. That'd be me. That's a nickname that was coined by one of my good buddy drone flyers named Bob Casey. He used to call me Professor Mitch because I used to come on and do 4-hour live streams teaching people how to build and program racing drones. It was another lifetime. Liz is here. Good morning, Liz. How are you? Hello, all. Peter says that looks like a big coffee cup. It is a big coffee cup, Peter. I got it half full. And this is my coffee with the creatine in it. I did have my first cup of coffee this morning with the 8-carbon MCT oil and a pat of butter. And I sat on my porch and watched Kelsey. And he had a very nice show this morning. Very nice show. I really loved Kylie as a guest. She was just a sweetheart. Just a sweetheart. You could tell she's probably just such a nice person. I got a kick out of the question where he asked her, or somebody asked, what do you do when you get negative comments? And I tried to, I told him, you tell them to go away. That's what you do. But I don't think she's like that. I don't think she's like that. Isabella's here. Good morning to you. And put QQQ in the chat if you got a question for me or anything that you'd like to steer the conversation to. And I've been doing pretty good at getting through them. Sometimes it takes me an hour and a half, but I'll try to keep that up. Try to keep up the habit of at least trying to, if not read all these things, acknowledge the questions and pick them out. So make sure you put the big capital Q's in there. Robbie Autry, a little trouble getting out of bed this morning. Good morning, but the 2 minutes late is okay. We won't give you any demerits for that. And Francine Bourgeois. Hi, Francine. Happy Monday to all from Montreal. Jerry Voitis, good morning from Ponte Vedra Beach. So good visiting you yesterday. Jerry came to see me yesterday right after Kilt's stream on Sunday. But just a couple minutes after 11, he walked in and brought me some smoked brisket. Wow, I'm looking forward to that. Put it in the freezer, and thank you, Jerry. It was great to see you. Always great to see you. Jerry goes places, and a lot of times when he's going places, he goes right by my place on I-95, and he will stop in and visit with me. So it's great to have some of you actually come by on a regular or semi-regular basis, like Mike Seeley Sr. does, to visit old Mitch here by himself in Melbourne, Florida. I do enjoy that. Who haven't I said hi to? Now everybody's starting to chat with everybody. Sandy says, Barry is our best entertainer. Barry's amazing. Barry is just amazing. And Barry sent me some coffee he said he was never going to drink. And I got it the other day. And what was the name of that? I forgot it already. I don't remember things until I am exposed to them a few times. But I'll talk about it when I try it. As soon as I have coffee in a little Tupperware thing that I use. When that's empty, I'll start using that stuff that Barry sent me, and let you know how I like it. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. And Karen, how you doing? Good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Off to St. Pete later today. I lived in St. Pete a long time ago, back in the 70s. Wow, that is a long time ago. There you go. Control the coffee, control the universe. Absolutely. Somewhere in the universal connection of all things, at a quantum physics level, that connection in the universe that connects us all, caffeine probably plays a very important role. And that's all I'm going to say about that. CB, honored to be on Barry's meme panel. Yes, that was great, wasn't it? For those of you who weren't here and missed it, let me see if I can show you that again. Hang on one second. Let me find it. There it is. And I will go ahead and put the video player up on the screen and click the video.
Welcome to the Carnivore Bunch. The meat life is the best life. We stick together, no grains, no problems. Exactly. Meat powers the brain and the body. Let's eat.
I love it. I love it. And for those of you who don't come into my evening live streams, if it doesn't scare you away, that's what happens. We get a panel of everybody. Sometimes even a few women in there, but lately it's been mostly the guys. Danny in Boston. Good morning, Danny. How you doing? Happy Monday. And Thomas, that was a cool meme. Yeah, he did a great job on it. That was funny. And thank you, Humari. We won't get tired of you at all. I hope not. I don't get tired of you. I don't get tired of all of you. And somebody just, Barry Simon. Oh, Barry Simon took care of telling me what kind of coffee that was. It is Life Boost Grata Medium Roast. Thank you, Barry. Thank you. I figured you'd kind of help me out there a little bit. Life Boost. Why did I remember that? Senility? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. It's like me with first names. Until I hear them 4 or 5 times and associate them with something, they just disappear. They stay in short-term memory for 10 seconds and then they're gone. Life boost. Okay. Okay, there's Barry on the switch. Always helping. Always. Barry's great. Provides a lot of help for me. In fact, the video I'm going to make about variety is going to feature one of Barry's memes. He picks up on a lot of things I say. It's amazing. It's amazing. Or maybe Barry's just got too much time on his hands. I don't know. Either way, I appreciate it. And he knows, I hope he knows how much I appreciate it. And we have Patricia Butler, Mitch, drinking a cup with you and everyone in your chat. Good morning. Good morning, Patricia. Brian BMAT is here. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. And let's see, we're going down. Okay, we get to 7:05, 15 minutes behind 7:06. Not too bad. Let me see if I can cruise through this. Lori says, I love Mitch's Karen voice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I didn't specifically know I was doing a Karen voice, but, and my apologies to any Karens that are out there. And I'm sorry that the world picked your name to associate with that kind of person, unfortunately. They picked Kevin for men, but nobody ever says that. Nobody really makes that association, Karen and Kevin. Everybody's saying hi. What are we talking about? Not sure I would like Mitch's Karen voice, says Karen. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, Karen. So sorry about that. Donna Ray's here, Bacon Runner. Hiya, Donna Ray. How you doing? Good morning, Mitch, and everyone here. Commented on Peter's arrival. Pretzel time. And, you know, I was watching Kills this morning, and I was reading while I was watching, and I had to chat on my cell phone, and I posted a couple of hellos. But I noticed the conversation was butter-centric. Butter-centric. A lot of talk about butter. A lot of talk about butter. And the first thing and Peter made some comments about butter. And the first thing that mental image I had was Peter buttering a pretzel. Is that strange? That's what came to my mind. And I thought to myself, wow, wouldn't that make a pretty funny meme? Peter buttering a pretzel. Most of you get that. Edward Renner's here. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning, Edward, from San Diego and Meeting Wellness. A clever name. Good morning, Mitch and chat friends. Lucy's here. Hi, Lucy. Lucy work. You know, it's a funny thing. I don't know if you noticed this, but I start these live streams out and I want to say hi to everybody, which means in my memory, somehow I must be remembering the ones I already said hi to. Because otherwise, how would I know? I must remember it for a while. And that to me, I say that's amazing, like a checklist in my brain. So, for example, here's Tammy. I know I've said hi to Tammy already this morning. I know I've said hi to Thomas. I know I've said hi to Meeting Wellness and Lori. And I know I said hi to Rick. And I'll usually skip over those comments and I'm going there looking for somebody new. So who's new that I haven't said hi to already? We'll get down to the point in the chat where They're few and far between. Richard Williams. Williams, good morning to you, my friend, from Copper Hill, Tennessee. Found one. I found one. Okay, so everybody's deep in conversation. Here you go. Brian Airy. Question, Mitch, did you notice a difference in your cognitive health? And how much do you take a day? Are you talking about creatine? Or are you talking about the bulletproof coffee with the MCT? Well, I imagine you're talking about creatine. And I take 5 grams. 5 grams. It comes with a scoop. And all of these different powdered supplements come with their own scoops, and they're all different sizes. And that creates a real logistical nightmare. The first thing you find when you get these big jars of these powdered supplements like creatine, leucine, MCT powder, is that you have to play the game. Find the scoop in the jar when you first open it. You feel like a coal miner. You have to start digging, and there's a lot of powder in there. So how do you get the scoop out without covering the entire kitchen with white powder? You have to dig down, because the scoop always managed to find its way to the bottom in all the shipping and everything. So the first thing you do is you dig the scoop out. And then the second challenge is you have to use the scoop. You try to put it back in the jar, and there's too much powder, unless you bury the scoop again. And you don't want to do that. So you take the scoop and put it somewhere. So you put it up I put it up in my closet until the level of the powder gets down low enough where I can actually get the scoop in there so I don't have to dig for it the next time. And all these scoops are different sizes. So how do you remember which scoop goes with which powder? It's a challenge, my friend. It's a carnivore challenge. I've got it down to a system, and I've got to the point where I can almost recognize the difference. It just another life's little challenge. But the scoop that comes in the MCT powder is easy because it's huge, big scoop. But the other ones are all very close. But I've got a system now. And the worst that could happen is you might get a little more or a little less if you happen to use the wrong scoop. But they all do come with the scoops. And I do notice a difference. And to answer the question, which I didn't answer yet, these things are relative. It's hard to tell when wishful thinking or the placebo effect comes in. If you think something's going to happen, somehow you can convince yourself that it has happened. Cognition, I think, is a very hard marker to realize. Other people may say, "Oh, Matt, you seem sharp today." But to me, living in here, I seem like I'm the same pretty much every day as far as my cognition. I don't have any brain fog. And I think clearly. And I'd like to say that what I'm doing is actually helping. For me, what I look for more than cognition from these things is maybe a little bit of more prolonged energy. My batteries don't run down as quickly. And in that respect, you can't expect a lot. The best you're going to get from creatine might be a 10%, maybe 15% increase in your reserve energy, which would show up if you're in the gym doing high reps and you're pushing like hell and you can manage to get through 10 reps of a high weight before your muscles just won't work anymore. And normally, if you do those kind of exercises, you'll gain strength and you'll gain increased reps. But right away, if you get enough creatine in you. You might notice that you could get that 11th rep out before you hit the wall. And that's the purpose of it. We all have creatine in our cells anyway, creatine phosphate. It's in most of the animal products, especially beef, that we eat. And so these are hard things to quantify. The difference is not going to be like night and day, that's for sure. It's a good question, though. Good question, though. And Lori calls our panel a sausage party. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Peter says, this week I've decided to tighten down my carnivore. I've gotten a bit sloppy and gained a bit of weight. It's easy, isn't it, Peter? It's so easy. My skinny jeans barely fit. Oh, no. They used to be loose, size 34. Well, that's what we have to do. We have to not go by the scale so much, because we might be gaining muscle and not fat. But it's easy. It creeps up on you. That's what we call it, carb creep. And it can happen to me. And I have to be very, very cognizant of the fact that every once in a while, and I still do it, every once in a while, I want to treat myself to something, and I'm craving something. And instead of eating more meat and fat, I might get some blueberries. Well, I can't do that. I kept saying, well, maybe I'll do it once a month. Maybe I'll just once a month allow myself to do it. But it doesn't work, because I can't just eat one bowl of them, so I overeat them, and then the bag is gone. And then for the next week or two, that's all I can think about, is making my blueberry ice cream. I've done that enough times to know that I'm not in control. But yet, from time to time, I think, well, surely I can, control it. And then I can't. It's out of my hands. It's out of my hands. My brain knows how to get what it wants. It knows just exactly the rationalizations to feed to me to allow me to do it. And one of the rationalizations that it feeds to me is, well, maybe you hear it all over the place. Maybe you need to add carbs, a little bit of carbs to your diet. Maybe you need to have a little bit of that polyphenols and all that tannins and stuff that are in the blueberries. Maybe you need that stuff once in a while. Maybe you need to flex. Maybe being a long-term carnivore is not good for you. How many times we hear more and more of that message? That staying pure carnivore, zero carb too long, actually will create more health problems. They got all of us worried about that. And that just gives your subconscious an excuse that's just always out there in your thoughts and in your mind, because you're seeing these thumbnails coming along, and you're listening to the likes of Paul Saladino and all of them, and all of these so-called learned people who know so much more than you do, according to them anyway. And about the only people on the other side of the argument, there are very few people. And I don't think, even I'm not one of them, because I fall into that trap myself. People like Anthony Chafee, people like Bart Kay, Sean Baker, who keep stressing that the amount of carbs, exogenous carbs, and the word exogenous means from the outside, you eat it, is zero for life. You don't need carbs. And everybody else out there is looking for YouTube videos that'll get them clicks, and they're coming up with every reason under the sun, even if they're carnivores. And more of them are starting to make videos. I won't mention any names, but I'm very disappointed And these carnivores who have switched sides, and they're all talking about, I was a carnivore for 3 years, 4 years, and I started getting all these symptoms, and I started eating veggies and plants and fruits, and I'm better now. And I used to think carnivore was okay, but zero carbs going to kill you, blah, 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 and you hear all of it. Well, there's a video out there right now. Anthony Chaffee and Richard Smith, two guys who really understand biochemistry. I'll give them that. And they did a video debunking all of this nonsense about having to add carbs. I mean, it was one of the best videos. I watched the whole thing. One of the best videos I've seen. It's about an hour or so. And find it. It's on Anthony Chaffee's channel. And watch it. Talking about why it's all bull. You don't need to add carbs. And Peter is an example. And that's where we got started on this. Peter is an example of what carb creep does, and I'm another example. And I'll put on some weight very easily, although my pants still fit, when I do nothing but start eating blueberries. And I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about it at most in one day, maybe 50 grams of carbs. I never could have, and I don't think I ever will be able to in the future, be able to eat 50 grams of carbs a day without completely screwing up. I'm one of these guys that's so addicted to this stuff that it's impossible for me not to constantly have them on my mind if I eat even the slightest little bit. But the miracle of carnivore is, and that's what I'm going to talk about in my video today, that if you just do without it, before too long, you won't want it. You won't feel the need for variety. So I don't want to do it all here, but it's a very important thing because more people have sabotaged their efforts because we're all trying to do the right thing. And there's just too many talking heads out there telling you how to do carnivore. And not all of them can be right. And I don't even claim that I guarantee you that I'm right. I just know what works for me and what I've observed. And I'm honest enough with myself not to try to delude myself when it doesn't work. I think that's important stuff. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. It will work for you, and you will not suffer and feel deprived. You won't until you start to try to add back in all those things that the rest of the world wants you to eat and thinks you're going to die without. Rick, the Black Menace, a.k.a. Milton, is running around now. You love it, Rick. If you didn't love it, you get rid of that cat. You get rid of the cat. Somebody else new. GFB 20,001. Hi, Mitch, from Gordon in London. Hello, Gordon. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. Good to see somebody new. Gordon, GFB. The G must be for Gordon. So I will try to remember your first name. I may not get it the next time I see you. So keep putting it in there. And after 3 or 4 times, I'll remember your name forever and associate it with your channel. Forever being a finite length of time that I may have left on this planet Earth. But that's my forever. That's the best I can do. The best I can do. And we had Sandy tells Lawyer, remember, love Sherry. Yeah, Sherry came in on Saturday night. Sherry Morgan used to be a regular here. Real sweetheart. I missed her. But she came into the chat, said hi to everybody. That was nice. That was nice. Milton's in ambush mode. Oh, wow. Wow. Now we're talking about Milton. Loretta says, I have a good friend couple named Kevin and Karen. Oh, wow. Can you imagine that? Living next door to Kevin and Karen? Wow, you better be careful. Not park your car in some inappropriate place or have too loud a party. You'll be in trouble. You'll be in trouble. Here's a meme request from Liz. Rick and Milton sitting in lawn chairs around his grill fire, roasting iguana legs. That would be funny. You'll remember the many people have seen it. The meme of Gary. I had said on an evening live stream with the panel. I said, "Boy, it'd be cool." Gary was sitting out on his back porch in North Carolina, and his cat was sitting next to him, and Gary was smoking a cigar. And I said, it would be really neat if you could get your cat to smoke cigars too. And 5 minutes later, this showed up. This showed up in my mailbox. Come on.
What the? No way. You have your own? No, hold on, you're lighting it now? Unbelievable. You're puffing it away like a pro.
And we all got a big kick out of that, but this AI, what you can do with this stuff in a short period of time is so scary. So scary. If somebody had to actually produce that little 7 or 8 second clip using conventional means and editors and animators and everything else, it would take a day or two of work to make that. Barry did it in minutes. That's what's so scary about this stuff. And that even sounded like Gary's voice. Wow, wow, wow. And that all started with just a snapshot of Gary sitting there with the car, with the cigar and his cat next to him. That's all that was fed to this AI, and a script describing everything, what he says, what the motions. And it is scary. It is scary. Pretty soon, I think the only skill you're going to need to produce any kind of video is to put it in words, be able to describe it accurately enough so the AI knows what you intend. I'm looking, you have to bear with me while I'm looking through this. I'm trying to speed read the chats. I don't want to get too far behind. Rough Corner says, you have an incredible memory, Mitch. My old man's in his late 60s and memory is starting to fade some. That's too bad. That's too bad. By the way, speaking of age, what's today, the 6th? Yeah. Tomorrow will be 1 month till May the 7th, and that's my 79th birthday. The last vestiges of hanging on to that decade of the 70s, a decade that many of us, if not more than half of us, do not ever get to. And I've never really felt any decade marker birthday was all that significant. I've always just felt young. 70s were tough on me. I know I aged, but I had brain surgery and I had a stroke. Been a tough, but I'm coming out of the decade okay. In a year, I'll be 80. I don't know how that's going to affect me. I'm hoping I'm still 30 inside like I feel, and I can just keep on going and put it behind me and then worry about what it's going to be like to come on here on my morning live stream as a 90-year-old carnivore. I would love for that to happen. Unfortunately, when you start getting up in these years, there's no guarantees and no certainty that some doctor won't try to kill you. because I think that would the greatest chance of me dying will be at the hands of some doctor's incompetence, and that really is scary. That really is scary because I have the history of knowing how they handled the last two episodes that I had, both the head injury and the stroke, and I believe they screwed up in both cases. Yeah. Peter said, Peter's the old man too. Yeah, it's amazing how when after you get to be 50, you think you're old. I look at a 50-year-old now, and a 50-year-old is younger than both my children, and I can't look at them as old. I call them kids. It's all relative from your own point of view. I think I'm proud to be. No, I am proud to be. When I look at the carnivore community and all the regular, what they call influencers on YouTube, I think I'm the clear front runner and the oldest guy that works as hard as I do and does as much airtime on YouTube and has a good following. There's a couple of really old people that have a few hundred subscribers and they come on once a year and make a video, but I'm proud of that fact. I'm really proud of that fact. My kids are proud of that fact, that I still work full-time and I'm still doing all this stuff, because most people my age are either gone or seriously on their way out about now. So I'm proud. I hope you're proud of me. That's the only way I'm ever going to survive, is if I keep doing this. The minute I stop, that's the minute I'll begin to die, just for the lack of relevance and purpose. So people who think about retirement all the time and how good it's going to be when they retire are in for a rude awakening. Retirement is boring. Even if you got a lot of money, if your health isn't there, or you don't keep busy, or you don't have some meaning to your life other than just having fun, playing golf every day, going on cruises, that gets very old very fast. And life's disasters will fill your life, and you'll be very disappointed. You'll be very disappointed. I've always lived my life, I'm not saving it for anything. That's why I do puff the cigars. What am I saving it for? What am I going to gain? I don't think it's unhealthy. Drinking coffee, I enjoy it. I think it's beneficial. But yet, I get criticized all the time. Well, if you're 79 years old and you don't think what you're doing is all that bad for you, I'm not jumping out of airplanes. I'm not downhill skiing at 100 miles an hour. Those days are gone. I don't ride motorcycles anymore. I don't fly airplanes anymore. I don't think I'm risking my life by drinking coffee. Sandy says, I've been in a stall for months. Stopped putting butter in my coffee, pat a day. Lost 10 pounds this week. Wow, is that all it took? Do you think it was the fat? You were just getting too much fat, which is possible. Or do you think maybe it was the dairy aspect of it? A lot of people, me included, do better without dairy. I saw a comment earlier about somebody said, I gave up dairy and then that was the problem. So it might not just be the fat. If you replace the fat, hate to use the word calories, but the fat energy that you get from one pat of butter, wow, it could be it was just your time to come out of the stall. You know that stalls are impossible to avoid in weight loss. Your body's natural programming does not want you to give up any hard-earned, stored energy. It's analogous to filling up your gas tank with gas and then worrying about the fact that that gas in your tank weighs 100 pounds and maybe I should stop and siphon out half of it to make the car lighter. We don't do that. We want to conserve that gas because it was hard fought. We had to earn the money to buy it. We don't want to throw it away. Your body, in the days, well, this is so obvious, in the days when food wasn't plentiful, any fat that you got on you, you held on to. And your metabolism is programmed to work that way. If your metabolism, if you see a calorie deficit every day when food is scarce, your body slows down the rate at which it uses it. It becomes more economical. It wants to save. So when you start going on a diet and eating less and losing weight, your body fights back with everything it's got. Which is why you can gain a ton of weight in a short period of time and it takes years to lose it. You're fighting nature. Your nature is still living in a cave with a slim food supply. The reality is we're living in a sea of sugar now and other bad things. And it results in stalls. And they call that a set point. I don't know how accurate a description that is, but you'll reach a point where your body comes into it and equalizes itself. And you have to somehow convince yourself, you convince your mind that there isn't a famine. And the one thing about carnivore that does that is to just eat a lot. And after a couple of weeks of stuffing your face and maybe gaining a pound or two, your body realizes that it doesn't need to be expending the energy to carry all that extra weight you have. And it finally gets the message that we're not in a famine because this lunatic is stuffing his face all day. And it will then, your insulin will go down, the fat cells will start being able to use stored fat, then you can cut back a little. And that's why some carnivores who really settle in can eat thousands and thousands of calories a day and still lose weight or maintain. I can't eat too much meat or fat in a day to gain weight anymore. I got down to, in my 130s, I got down to 132 at one point. I was way too thin. I'm about 140 now. But for a 5'10" man, 140 pounds is not huge, I guarantee you. And I will not gain weight until I start eating carbs. If I start to eat blueberry ice cream, I could put on 5 pounds in a week if I did that every day. Because my body, when I start eating survival food, interprets it as a famine. And it's time for me to put on some weight. But when I don't eat those occasional blueberries, I can eat as much food as I want to eat. And I get satiety that can last for days because I don't need the food. I still have enough stored body fat to be able to probably fast for a month or two with no problem, although I don't do that. 7:33. Oh, God, I'm 20 minutes behind. Not too bad. Not too bad. Andy's Gaming, hi. I haven't said hi to you yet. Saladino might add iguanas soon, or duck. I doubt it. I doubt that Paul Saladino takes his cues from Rick. I highly doubt that. And I don't know, it seems he still looks like he's in pretty good shape. But I stopped listening to anything he said. I can't imagine eating 200-300 grams of carbs a day. I don't care how much you surf. That gets back to the calories in, calories out nonsense, which you know is a pipe dream and has nothing to do with you gaining or losing weight. You can't eat too much energy, of course, but just stay away from the plants and the sugar. The seed oils get you in another way. They're not good either. Michael Pregler, how you doing? Michael was at the gym. Good to see you. Good to see you. You guys are talking about Saladino. Saladino for some reason. Look at all the Saladino comments. Holy mackerel, why are we talking about him? Now we're talking about eating iguanas with Rick. Yeah, I was talking about everybody's so confused, and Danny agrees with me. The more I watch, the more confused I get. That's why I admire Kiltz and what he's trying to do so much. He's a good guy. He's a great guy. He certainly isn't making money at this YouTube stuff. It's costing him a fortune to do what he does on YouTube. He really and truly knows the answer. I know the answer. I'm not making money here. I want to help. We know the problem, and we know that it's a problem that'll never be solved because there's too much money against solving it. Too many people derive too much of their incomes. Most of them don't even know or imagine the harm they're doing to themselves and their own families. They're not all evil, mean people. They are brainwashed people. And who wouldn't be brainwashed after 75 or 100 years of having this message pounded into our heads? Healthy fruits and vegetables. You never hear the word fruits and vegetables if somebody doesn't stick healthy in front of them. But nobody ever says, eat that healthy ribeye and that healthy layer of fat. Eat that healthy butter and that healthy bacon and those healthy eggs. You never hear that. Maybe we ought to start doing that. Maybe every time we say bacon and eggs, we should append healthy to it. That'd be a great idea. Healthy bacon and eggs. What can we call fruits and vegetables? Thomas is making memes, but this is great. This is great, Thomas. I love it. I'm gonna have to show this. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But he's got Thomas and me side by side on the screen. I don't know if you can see this or not. Yeah, you can see it. He's got Thomas and me with our respective hats on, looking like babies. That's cool. Will you believe this guy is 79 years old? You look like a baby, Mitch. That's cute as hell, Thomas. I love it. I love it. I love it. Barry Simon sent me another one. It's Pete. It's Pete buttering a pretzel. Oh, man. We're going to have fun tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get a little collection of some of the newer stuff and show it first thing. Pretzel Pete buttering a pretzel. Wow. Thank you, Barry. Barry says, I had to leave, but I wanted to get this to you. That's funny. Thomas says, question, I'm not as good as Barry, but Mitch sent you a video. Hope you still like it. Barry, but Mitch sent... I guess Thomas was talking about that picture. Was it a video? Okay, I'll check it out. We'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, and CB says, we can call fruits and vegetables healthy. HELLFEE. Healthy. Healthy fruits and vegetables. Yeah. Wow. I'm looking at the up-to-date chat here. Oh, Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy. Pond Apple. Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, let me get back to this and make sure I don't miss any QQQs. You're right about that, Rick. I will never forget who you are. Absolutely true. All right. All right, catch it up. It's almost 8 o'clock. Might not have to go half hour overtime today, which is probably better if I'm, I know Kelsey tries to get out exactly before 60 minutes. I don't care. But I don't want to stretch it to an hour and a half every day. Not if I'm doing it 5 days a week. CB says the AI Gary can't replace the real Gary. Nothing can replace the real Gary. I agree with you 100%. Northwind 22, haven't seen you. Countdown to Mitch's birthday party. Yes, yes. Oh, that's Lori said that. Northwind 22, how are you? Chafee fried egg and bacon sandwich. Chaffle fried. Yes, I love those things. I make them all the time. Make 2 chaffles with cheddar cheese and egg and nothing else, and bacon and egg. Make usually 2 of them. I make 4 chaffles, make 2 sandwiches with a half a pound of bacon and 6 eggs. That's a 1 meal a day meal, I'll tell you. You don't need more food after that. That's one thing about AI, Gary. It always gives you nice teeth. Nice teeth. I notice that about when AI does me. I get nice white teeth. White teeth that most 79-year-olds do not have unless they're store-bought teeth. So I'm a little suspicious of a guy my age whose teeth are a little discolored just from coffee. I know my cigars probably stain my teeth a little, but life will stain your teeth. And when you got that Cheshire Cat piano key smile, it's not natural looking. It's not natural looking at all. But all these teeth, except for a few crowns and 2 implants, are actually my teeth. And I'm trying to keep that as long as possible. And I have quite a regimen, in case anybody really cares. Every night, I have an Oral-B electric toothbrush, and I use a little baking soda, and 2 minutes is the cycle. It goes through that. And after that, I take a water pick and really work it out. And that really helps your gums. When you first use that water pick, if you haven't, it's going to make you sore. But it toughens up your gums. And combine that with the carnivore lifestyle, you're going to have the healthiest teeth and gums. And I know that because my dentist has commented, the hygienist has commented about my gums never bleed, no matter what they do. Whereas they used to bleed very easily. The water pick and the electric toothbrush. And I only brush my teeth once a day, but I do use these floss picks. You ever seen these little plastic things? I get them from Amazon. Have a little brushy deal on one side and a pick on the other end. Anytime I eat, which fortunately is very few times a day, so I don't have to do this very often. But after I eat, every time I eat, I use this floss pick and clean any food that might be, because that's what causes gum disease. So you keep the food out between your teeth. And unfortunately, as you get older and your teeth move around, the spaces between some of them get bigger. And the food always ends up in there. So if you were watching me all day long, after I eat, especially after I eat any kind of stringy meat, I'm pulling it out from between my teeth. I do not leave it there. And at night, when I do that floss pick before the water pick before bed, there's not a bit of any food left in my mouth, and my gums got a good workout. And I keep my water pick set up at the highest level that it can, and it puts out a pretty strong little blast of water. And it works. It works. I've never talked about oral hygiene before, but I thought you might find that interesting. I like that, Gary. I had nice teeth in that video. Still got a hot coffee thanks to Francine Bourgeois, who bought me that coffee warmer. And for those of you that haven't seen it, it sits right here. That thing right there, coffee warmer set to 145 degrees. The coffee is still just exactly the right temperature. And I try to ration it out through the whole live stream instead of gulping it down. So I really do enjoy that cup of coffee. And luckily, the creatine that's in it does not, you can't even tell. That stuff has no taste whatsoever. Robbie says, you will still be 30 inside, Mitch. I was talking about when I became 90. Yeah. Yes, sir. It's true. Corgi Lover says, my teeth have gotten stronger. I think our oral health in general, and I think that the oral biome, the bacteria that we do have in our mouth, really change, as does the biome that you have on every square inch of your skin, which is why we don't get body odor. All that stuff that destroys our teeth and makes us stink comes from eating plants. And we know that for sure because we have evidence. They may not have done placebo studies, randomized control studies. We have thousands of people who say, hey, have you noticed you don't stink anymore? You don't need to take a shower every day anymore. Your gut has normalized. You don't have all that terrible constipation and bloating and bleeding hemorrhoids anymore. Too much anecdotal evidence to dismiss. Is the scientific community going to take that? No, they got to have randomized control trials that are fraud, with data that's manipulated and statistics that are bullshit. That they'll believe because it supports their agenda and the products that they're trying to sell. Yes, sir. I haven't ranted too much today. I'm not in a ranting mood today. I'm in a happy mood today. I'm feeling good. And Corgi Lover says, I can quit coffee. I don't want to. That's my take on it exactly. I can quit. I can do without it. I don't think caffeine is anything I'm addicted to, but I do like that little burst of extra energy. And there's no doubt that caffeine is a stimulant, but who says it has to be bad for you? There's so many people out there claiming it's good for you. Again, everybody's got a story. And that's the one thing Kilson and I talk about a lot, is the fact that everything is a story. Everything is a story. It could be a true story or bullshit, but it's still somebody's story. The hard part is, which stories do we believe? And who told them in the first place? And how, over time, have they changed? You know, the old example of sitting a room full of people down, telling one of them a story in one ear and telling them to pass it on to the next person. The story that ends up at the end doesn't even have any resemblance to the original story. And most of our stories came down to us that way through history. Who knows what the original story was or the original truth? I'm not trying to diss religion, because it could have been anybody, but I saw a comment on a video, and the question was a serious one. Was Jesus a carnivore, or did he eat plants? Now think about the absurdity of that question. How would you know? It happened thousands of years ago, for God's sake, if it even happened at all. But somebody will come up with a story. and rationalize it and tell you why. Well, he must have been a carnivore because this, that, the other thing. There's no way to know. We don't even know what happened in Iran yesterday, for God's sakes. We don't know what the real story is. We know what we hear on the news, but we hear 5 different versions of the same story on the news. We can't even know for sure what happened yesterday. How the hell are we supposed to know for sure what happened 2,000 years ago? And what was on somebody's dinner plate back then? We can't even know for sure if they even existed or if they even were having dinner. We could try to think about, well, what kind of food was available back then? Well, all the same kind of, we had plants and we had meat. You know, the odds are it was meat, but they didn't go on diets back then. They weren't counting calories. They weren't counting grams of protein. They didn't know what protein was 2,000 years ago. They didn't know anything about science and what we know today. And people seriously ask that question. And somebody will come out and make a video about it. Eat like Jesus did. Oh. And somebody else will believe it. Just as another story. Another story. Gary says, Rick, when a cigar starts shooting sparks, that's a telltale sign. Yeah, AI. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to have a combination cigar and sparkler. I think it would be very exciting. Don't you? Don't you? Well, here I go. I'm going over time because I'm trying to read all these things. Wow, Sandy, if you were using that much butter, you could get a stall that way. I drink a pot of coffee a day, we should get a stick of butter a day. Coffee. Yes, I agree. I understand. Yeah, cut out the stick of butter a day. That's very possible that that's just way too much energy, and you're not. Your body's going to say, "Why should I go into my fat stores? I'm programmed to keep as much fat as I can stored away, and if I'm getting all this energy from the food that I eat, I don't need to use my stored fat." Yes. All right, I'm going to give QQQ. Hey, question from Kathy. Do you think that prebiotics can improve sleep? Otherwise, I can't explain my better recent sleep since introducing a small. I can't imagine, Kathy, that makes you sleep better, or why. If it happened, it happened. If you stop taking the prebiotics, do you think you'll stop sleeping better? Do you think the placebo effect of you anticipating better sleep stopped you thinking about falling asleep, which in most cases is what keeps us awake, trying to fall asleep? You can't try to fall asleep. In my experience, you simply can't do it. You can't try. You can't work harder to fall asleep. You can't lay there thinking, God, I'm still awake. I'll never fall asleep. You can't do that. Your mind has to be clear. You have to, sugar plum fairies and sheep have to start dancing in your head, something that doesn't stress you out. I can't imagine. I am so against prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics. I am so against trying to take any control at that level of the physiology of your body and not let your genetic programming handle it and just feed it the proper nutrition. And then figure out what, if any, supplements you might need because you're either not getting enough sun or the iodine or some of the electrolytes aren't in the food that you're eating because of the modern world. And that's what way I approach supplementation. And then I also approach supplementation about what the effects of aging are on our physiology, and if there's something that is potentially not harmful at all, like the creatine, or even the MCT oil or powder. Give it a try, because it makes sense if you understand the underlying biochemistry. But other than that, get the nutrition from the food you eat and stop trying to micromanage it. I really don't think you need to be taking bacteria and microbes in a pill form to try to micromanage your physiology. Barry emailed me a video. Okay, Barry. I thought you had to leave. Let's see. Was that the Pretzel Pete one? Let me just take a look and see. We'll talk about that. Yeah, I saw the last email I got from you was at 7:30, and it was the. Okay. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll save a little bit of that fun for tomorrow. But I don't know. I don't know what's in a prebiotic anyway. What's the difference between a prebiotic and a probiotic? Or a postbiotic? Why would anybody want to eat bacteria or take bacteria in pill form? Another thing I agree with my friend Kelsey completely on is the microbiome regulates itself. And whatever we try to do, whatever we try to take, whatever way we try to manipulate the population of the microbes in our gut, it's always going to go back to the microbes that have food will survive, and the microbes that are being starved out will die. And the most important thing is you don't want a gut full of the kind of microbes that live on sugar, and because that would make you a cow. That's how a cow makes meat out of grass. We don't need to do that. We just eat the meat. We don't want those guys. That's why people who eat the wrong diet and eat tons of plants spend their day farting and crapping and bloated and feeling terrible. As much as they want to believe that they're feeling so healthy because they eat so good, as they run to the bathroom 3 times a day because their body just wants to expel this poisonous crap that they keep putting in, and it's not what it wants. One thing carnivores don't do, once they get adapted to it, which takes 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, it'd be running to the toilet 3 times a day. We're lucky we run to the toilet 3 times a week, most of us. We don't make waste. Why eat something that the body just has to work so hard to get rid of and put you through so much misery in the process? I know. I was there. I was there. Danny's here. Danny chimed in. Hello, Daniel. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Calls me the myth, the living legend. Well, living, hopefully, is the operative word there. Oh, I got to get through this if it kills me. And I'm going to go to 8:30. Question, Thomas. I'm not as good as Barry, but yeah, I love it. I love the ones with the kids. I think they're great. I think they're funny as hell. I like that one with me and my blue denim hat on. So I'll get that all. Barry said, I saw having cartilage powder could help, but I don't know. Well, it may help. It may help. We're being told that we need that. we need those animal parts, the cartilage and things like that. We should chew on, like when we're eating chicken, we should chew off everything we can off the ends and the joints and things to get cartilage. Well, I don't know how much it's going to help you if you get it in powder. I never thought of that. I mean, you could live on powders these days and forget about eating food. Somebody's got powder for everything. I mean, it's interesting. I might look into that. I don't know whether I need it or not. My joints, I don't have any joint pain, so obviously things are working pretty good in that department. All right, I got to start racing through this, or I'll be here all day till tomorrow morning, straight through. Marathon. Guys be calling me Marathon Man. Okay, we did pretty good. Got 809 in my chat. Question, here's another question. Have you heard of the apostolic, how do you pronounce that? Apostolic, silly. Well, no, I haven't heard of that, but obviously it's got the word apostle in it, which I don't know. No, I haven't. I agree with the silly part. Yeah, silly part. It seems absurd, but everybody's got a different diet. So simple. Even a caveman could do it. Patty Jones, yes. I ordered that Amazon coffee you suggested, and now it's my favorite. Yeah, I like that stuff. I'm drinking it now. But I'm going to try Barry's coffee. I'll let you know. Coffee, you know, I'm not that much of a snob when it comes to coffee. As long as it isn't too bitter, it's coffee. I could drink any kind of coffee. Even the stuff that comes out of the Sam's Club K-Cups is okay for me. Patty in USA agrees with me. She says, yeah, people try hard to micromanage their diet too much. Not just their diet, they try to micromanage their entire physiology. Wiring themselves to glucose and ketone meters. Constantly concerned, setting alarms on their cell phones. Constantly monitoring everything. That's not our job. If we interfere with the trillions of different adjustments made every second, every day, in every cell of our body, if we interfere with the programming, we can only screw it up. We have to look at broad strokes, nutrition in general. And it is so simple. Basically, there's everything you need in eggs and beef. Virtually every raw material needed for human life to be healthy. It's that simple. And when you do that, and if you like bacon, eat the bacon. But basically, in an egg and in beef, you're getting proper nutrition because your cravings go away and your hunger goes away. Two of the motivating emotions that the body uses to compel whatever animal it is, including human animals, to go out and hunt. Again, I'm going to talk about that in my video today. Well, I got to the end of the chat. How about that? 8:24 p.m. So let me play some happy music. Thanks everybody for coming in. That's great to see you all this morning. Had nice attendance. Got up to 130 something people at one point. That's going in the right direction. 107 here right now. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And it looks like it takes me an hour and a half to get through this whole thing. Before you get tired of chatting, or I get tired of talking, one way or the other, we made it. So say goodbye to your friends in the chat. I'll be back tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. Wow. Wow, Mitch overload. Everybody's waving goodbye. Look at all the waving. CB Carmack's waving. Lady June says bye all. Retired Rick is here. How you doing? I showed up. Mitch goes away. Well, show up at 7 o'clock. Hi, Rick. How you doing? Good to see you. Aaron says bye, everyone. Rough Carnivore's waving. Pondapple. Talking to Lizzie. Michael Prager. Peace out, everyone. Peace on everybody. That's for sure. Do we do this again tomorrow morning, says Chuck. Yes. Yes, we do. Absolutely right after Kelsey at 7 o'clock. You got me again. You got me again. Tammy Petard's waving and dancing and baking and smiles and laughing and coffee. Wow. I'm tired just looking at all those emojis. Happy Monday, y'all, she says. Same to you, Tammy. Same to you. Rick, see you tomorrow. I'll count on it. Mike Sealy, have a good day, all. And everybody's waving and saying goodbye. And Lizzie's talking about lobsters. Right there at the end. And I'm going to go to work. So, but the rest of you can take the rest of the day off and eat meat.